This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, last class we discussed about the should stop activity and queues we didn't complete it, right? Queues, right? Did we completed queues?
We have to start.
We have to start talking. Queues means so what is a queue? Queue means normal queue only. So normal queue is like a so in the real time we are seeing the queues, right? So if you go to the any banks or anyways, we're just counters, so we're seeing the queues. The queue basic concept is what is that? Queue basic concept? FIFO. First in, first out. First come, first serve. This is a queue basic concept, right? So this queues is a there is a queue concept is there in Uipath. So this queue is a really awesome concept. So we can distribute the work to the multiple robots. So how we can distribute the same type of work to the multiple employees? In the same way, we can distribute the work to the multiple robots in the same work. But who will give the I mean so who will maintain first in first out these things and all who will maintain the orchestrator will maintain the all the things. It's queues. There is a queues concept in the UiPath orchestrator. Queues. Here you can create any queue. The queue is like a uh, suppose for example let's take a mm, let us take any suppose for example one counter is there. Um, so let's take a customer center. Okay, so there is some so there is some service center is there. Okay, service center. So once you add anything, so you can add the queue. So queue has a suppose for example, the persons will come, the each customer will come, and they will fill the details into the so the details of the customer. They will fill the details. Suppose for example, what is the name and phone number or issue type or okay issue type. Let's imagine these are the three fields available. Okay, issue type. Okay, so these are all the fields. So suppose new customer came. So new customer came and Raj, new customer name and mobile number is something like that. Okay, issue is okay. Disconnect service something is there. Okay, disconnect. Okay. Next, so this is a Hari came. Hari is another customer. Okay, so Just imagine, so we are in the one service center, Vodafone service center. Okay. Something like a new connection or port connection, something like that. Okay, connection. Got it? So this each and every so in the queue, each and every person normally in the queue, each and every person is a one item, transaction item. Okay. So what is that transaction item? Each and every person is a transaction item. So here is a each and every record is a transaction item. Got it? So you can decide a standard format for to store the details of the transaction item. So if it is a now we take in the example of the Vodafone service center. So okay, service center. So customers are coming and they are just entering. Once they enter to the center, customer service center, they have to enter the details into the screen. So then it is going to the queue. Okay. So they will give the coupon number, something what is a token number, same something like a this is a one, this is a two. Okay, so like that they will give the number. So how can we add the, so first of all there is a, so let's take a how can we create a queue. Okay, first what we will do, we will create a queue and add the items. So click on the create add button. Got it? So go to the orchestrator and click on the queues, click on the plus button, create a queue. Vodafone service center. Okay, keep it as it is everything and click add. So now we have any name. You can give the any name. Okay, so just you're not decided any structure of the transaction item. We're just giving the one small string. That's it. Okay. So now go to the Uipath Studio and create a new process called dispatcher. Okay. So dispatcher in the sense, so any name you can give. So actually, so dispatcher, what why I gave the dispatcher name is a, it is a dispatching the items, right? So this is a dispatcher. Just make it, this is a, this screen is a, the system itself, it is a dispatcher. Okay. So once they enter the details, so it will dispatch the item to the queue, a new item to the queue. So let's take dispatcher is this one. Okay, so one small computer, just imagine this is a one small computer. Just understand the concept. Okay, this is a dispatcher. So if you enter these details, this is a bigger screen. So this is a queue item, how many items are there in the queue, so what is the number of our queue, so when it will come. Okay, this is all first in first out concept. And so we created the queue name. Okay, so you have to decide the what is the queue name. You can name it as anything. Okay, once we decide the queue name, as the robots are connected, so robot is connected, right? Your robot is connected. Now, so we type the queue in the activities panel. You have an add queue item. Okay, add transaction items. So use the add queue item. Okay, if you want to add the new queue item to the orchestrator queues, you have to use the add queue item. So what you have to use to add the new queue item? So you have to use the add queue item. So what is the properties? The queue name, queue name. So queue name you should give the in the double quotes. So what is the queue name? This is a queue name, right? I'm just copying the queue name and pasting here in the double quotes. Okay, this is a queue name, and item information is there, right? Item information. So you can add the item, click on the collection and click create a new items. What is the items? So we have item in the sense each transaction item has a fields, a properties, right? So what is the name? We take in the name and phone number, right? So what are all the three phone number, issue type. phone and right name, phone and number, issue type. Okay, so I'm just giving the values, hard coding the values here. So name is a Raj, and phone number is a something like that. That is also string. So you can change the data type also. So if you want to change, you can change the data type also. Issue is something like that. Okay, got it? Got it, right? So we are deciding the structure. So the first structure is a first one is a we just decided the structure and we're giving the whatever the queue name. So if you want to give the priority, you can give the priority normal, high, low. By default, it is a normal. You can postpone the queue also. I will see that one also. Okay, I'm just running. See, running this Uipath. And see, in progress count is a 0, remaining is a 0, available is a 0. Here you can see, right? How many success? How many success? 0. How many average time taken? 0. Okay. How many remaining? 0. Okay. Everything is 0. Just now we added one item. So just refresh. Okay. So otherwise go to the other thing and come back. Yeah. See. View transactions are there. View transactions in the three dots. If you click on the three dots, you have a view transactions. So you have one new item. Okay. So one thing what you have to keep in mind some points. So if you want to add queue item, if you want to add new item to queue, you have to use add queue item. Okay. And second thing is, so once you add new queue item from add queue item, by default, the status of transaction is new. Okay. So the first thing is we have to add. If you want to add, you have to use the add queue item. And once you add the item, so the new transactions type is a new. The status. See here the status. You have a status is called new, in progress, failed, success, abandoned, and retry, delete these things and all. Okay. So what is the status? That status. Who decided the status? It automatically goes to the new status. Got it? And so go to the last dots and click on the view information, view details. You have a details of the transaction. So name, phone number, issue type. Got it? Okay, these are all the information. So let us add one more item. Okay, let's add one more item. Okay, so what is our next record? Hurry. Hurry. Okay, let's add the number. And the issue is port connection. Port connection. Okay, run it. So it is that much simple, so it will automatically add. Just see how the new transaction came. Okay, so see, Raj is the first one. Okay, Raj is the first one. What is the next one? See the next one here. This is a Hari. Got it? Port number, port connection. Okay, this is how we can add the new item. So there is a bulk add queue item is also there. You can add the bulk add queue item. So let us take an Excel. So individually you can add one by one. So recently they added this activity called bulk add queue items. Name, phone, uh, phone number, and issue type. So Guru, new connection. Network issues. Network issues. And okay, so settings of phone. So we have a so many data. So that is a bill pending. So we have so much of data is there here. I'm just saving this one into the desktop. We have three columns. Vodafone. Okay, we have three columns. So let us extract the data first. So how can we extract the data? So we can use a read range. So read range, I am using the workbook read range and browse the Excel sheets from the desktop. That is a Vodafone, and sheet name is the same. And range, I am giving the empty so that I can get the entire data. Okay. Vodafone customer DT. Vodafone customer DT. Now, instead of using the add queue item, so I'm just using the queue. So bulk add queue items. Okay, bulk add queue items. The bulk add queue items, the input is a data table, and or input is a data table and queue name. So the result will give the how many are so data table. Let's so result DT. And what is the queue name? Queue name is a Vodafone Center. So I'm just copy and paste here in the double quotes. That is a Q&A. What is the data table? The data table is the output of this one. The output of this one is a customer Vodafone customer DT. So this is a Vodafone customer DT, and so we will see what is the output. So I'm just writing right range. So let us see so what will happen here. Output. The output is that's the output of the result DT. Result DT. Okay. We'll see. So what this will give the output. Okay. Now, so how many items are there now? How many transactions are there now? We have two transactions, right? Let me run this one. So it will read the Excel and convert that into the data table, that is the right range, and add to the, this is a bulk add. If you have a Excel has a so much of information, so it will add. Not doing anything, so let us refresh this one. Okay, we have a these many one shot. Okay, these many items in the one shot. So let us see. So this is a Ajja. This is a so Kasim. Got it? This is a Jijo. See, this is a Guru. So these are all the data from the Excel. What happened? So we can add the data by using the add queue item or bulk add queue item. Bulk add queue item. Okay, these two. So once you add the data, so now we have a available data are there. Okay, so this is the one person that the dispatcher system is adding the items to the queue. So if tomorrow one new customer came, so 3 Guru number Okay, network issue. Got it? So like that, so newcomers coming and adding to the last part, so the first in, first out. So this is a dispatcher. Let's imagine there is a performers. Performers are there. The performers are the ones who are doing actual work. Okay, actual work. Performers are the basically the engineers. That means customer care employees. So they will take one by one persons, and so this is a performer one. Mm, so this is this one. 2, 3, 4. These are all the performers. Okay, performers in the sense, so performing the task. Performers. So this is a so performers having the numbers, desk numbers. So 2. So real time, you are seeing so many places, right? So banks and any this type of customer services. So you have a different desks are there. So different employees are sitting in these performer desks and performer desks. So what will happen? The first record will go to the Raj. Will go to the first part, something like this. So employees, how can I move? Okay. So instead of that, I'm just moving the Raj to the desk one, okay? And if this service desk two person is calling next item, so this Hari will come to here, okay? So three service desk three is asking next item, so Guru will come here, okay? Guru will come here. Service desk 4 will call any new items. There is no items, right? So it will not give any item. It will give empty, okay? It will give empty. So basically, the performers are calling the next item. They're calling like a next item, okay? They're calling like a next item. So let us see how can we add get the item, okay? So in this case, so what we will do, we'll create a new Excel or new not new Excel, and let us take a folder. So today report, okay? So that is the one folder, today's, okay, this folder. So whenever this, so the thing is, so whenever they take in the new customer, they have to ask the some information. So they will get the details of the all the things, and they will have to create your own text file into that folder, okay? Text file with the customer name, okay? So that is the task. So now, so let us take a how can we get the items from the queue. So now we got that. So here is a queue, right? Here is a queue, and let me move this one. the screen to here. Okay. And so this screen, I'm just removing. So what is the queue name? Queue name is a, what is the queue name? Our queue name. What is it? Oh, this is a queue name, right? So what will happen the dispatcher? What is the work of the dispatcher? Dispatcher will dispatch the items to the queue. Items to the queue. So what does the performer do? Performers will get the items from the queue. Okay? Performers will get the items from the queue. Got it? From the queue. Just imagine this is a screen only taken that items. So once they remove the items, so we'll remove the one by one items. Okay, one by one items. Got it? So how can we get the items from the queue? Okay, so if you ask any item, if any performer will ask any item, so the orchestrator queue will give the first in, first out. The first transaction item which has a status equal to new. So which status is a new, the first item will give. Okay, so first item. So what is the first? How can we get the transaction item? There is a activity called get transaction item. Get transaction item. So what we have to give? So we have to provide the queue name. What is the queue name here? So orchestrator, just copying the queue name from here. Queue name from here. Okay, this is a queue name we gave, and the output is a transaction item. So what is the output type? What is the output type? Whether it is a string or an int. What is that? Can you ping in the chat window, or what is the
Collection.
collection?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to see in this place. Okay, in this place. Got it? We can't predict the types and these things and all. So if you just any property, you can see the type here. Okay, this is a string type. This is the int32 type. Okay, so we can just yeah, see this is a string type. Got it? Got it? Okay, it's not list. So how many a performer will handle? So can two customers go and sit into the service risk one? No, right? So at a time, only one customer, right? One customer in the sense, one customer. That means one transaction item. It is not list of transaction item. Okay, it is a one transaction item at one time. Got it, Gaurav?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this what is the type now? What is the data type of this output?
String.
String.
Yeah. Or
Here,
it would be an ID.
here we can see there is a simple thing. Here it will tell. So if I just click on this one, it is telling like this is a Boolean type. Okay. So if I click this one, this is a integer 32 type. If I click this one, so this is a what type? String type. Okay. If I click this one, this is output transaction item. So what is the type now?
Queue item.
Queue item, right? Queue item is the type. Not string is a queue item. Queue item itself it is a one class. Here itself you can see the type queue item. So the output is a queue item. To store the queue item, let's create a variable. Current item, anything. Okay. So click OK and see the variables. This current item is a queue item. It's just uipath dot core dot queue item. Got it? So that is a how can we get the data from the how can we get the items from the queue? So by using the get transaction item. So to get the we have a queue item. How can we get the so see we get this one item, okay? How we will get the specific values? Okay, specific values, and how can we get the name? How can you get the phone number? How can you get this issue type? Okay, issue type. Here if I just so what is our thing? So we have to create a one text file here, right? So to create a text file, text write text file, just write text file, and the path is this one, slash, and here the text file name, so issue.txt. So instead of issue, I would like to place the instead of issue, I would like to place the person name, the customer name. Okay. So let us see. So here we're just putting the customer name. We have what we have now, queue item. So within the queue item is a combination of all the properties, right? So name, phone number, issue type. So the current item, that is a queue item, dot specific content, that is a method. Okay. If you want to write, you can note it down. Okay. Specific content, that is a method. And within this method, so you have to specify what value of this queue item you want. Okay. So these are all the values. These are all the properties. Okay. I want the name. Okay. Name. So the same value you have to give here. Okay, so now it will create a text file by using the name. Now the content here, so I want to pass the name equal to Raj and name equal to Raj and environment dot new line. Okay, so next line, I mean next line, new line plus phone number equal to something like that, environment dot new line, that means it will go to the new line, that's it. Okay, issue type is a disconnect something, environment dot new line, there is a status is closed or open or success or fail. Okay, success or fail. Okay, okay, success or fail, that is the status. So to replace these values, how can I get this phone number? Can anyone tell how can I get this phone number? Hello, hello.
Current item dot specific content, then
Item not specific content of, yeah, correct, this phone number, correct. Okay, so what is the name? the same thing. Current item dot specific content of name. Okay, so what is this one? So issue type, the same thing. Current item dot specific content of the toString. What is the type? So you should give the same name. Okay, so if the space is there, space. If the capital letter is there, capital letter. Everything you have to give the same thing. Now the success is on fail. That is as per your thing. So I'm just putting the success. So that means whether the issue is resolved or not resolved. Okay. So now let us try to run once. So once we let us see whether it is it's a text file name Raj. Raj is the first one. These are the details coming from the orchestrator. Now, so once you get this, see, once you get the item, so this will come at the status will change to the in progress. So automatically it will change to the in progress. Once you use the get transaction item, so the transaction item will change to the in progress. You have to forcefully change the status to the success or fail based on the. So okay, so how can we change the status? You okay, so there is a set transaction status. Say set transaction status. Just drag the set transaction status and give the transaction item is the input now, not queue item. Transaction item is the input. So the transaction item which is coming from here, get transaction item by giving transaction item here. What is the transaction item name? Current item. That is the transaction item name. And so you have a status called success or fail. Two statuses are there, success or fail. If you keep the success, no need to pass these three parameters. If it is a fail, you have to specify the reason. So you have two types of failure possibilities are there. So one is the business failure, the business error, and application error. Okay. What is a business error and application error? Application error means so if any application is failed, so while the bot is running, if you are interacting with the Chrome or any SAP, any mainframe applications, so if the mainframe or SAP is a hang or suddenly it's disconnected. Okay, so that is the application error. Got it? So if any you are dealing with the some text file or Excel file, suddenly so the Excel file is not there. The Excel path is not correct. Okay, so those things and all, what are all the exceptions coming as application exceptions? That is a application exception. Okay, if the business means business conditions based on the condition, right? So you have to give the reason. So otherwise it won't allow. Okay, let us make the success. Make it success. Run. It will take the next item and it will create a new text file here. Hurry. It taken the hurry. Got it? Taken the hurry customer. And so it's get the information and it's returned to the notepad. So let us see the this one. So this is a success. So we forcefully make that as a success. If anything comes like if you want to fail, you can fail. So the reason is Okay, so some information like that. Okay, this is the reason for that business exception. Let us run. So now every time it will take the new item. So new item, new customer comes. So whether it is a fail or success, see, Guru. Okay, so let's go and refresh the queue. Now the Guru, where is the failed? See, failed. So why does this fail? So exception type also is there. Exception type is a business exception. If it is application exception, here is an application exception. Okay, so it's a failed, and so why it is failed? You can see the reason here. The reason is customer is not okay. So okay, you can see the reason, and these things are all available here. Okay. Got it? Like that, you can set the transaction status. Got it? Okay. So one more thing is, so you can postpone the transaction item. So suppose if the customer has to postpone that item to the tomorrow. Okay. So you can postpone the item also. You just drag the postpone transaction item. So you have to give the transaction item, that's like the current item, and the postpone date. So when you have to postpone, and the deadline. So deadline also. So deadline also you can give due date. So due date means, so before that only it will finish. Before that only it has to. So that is a postpone transaction item. You can postpone the transaction item. And set transaction progress. Set transaction progress. Just take that set transaction progress, and transaction item is the current item, and progress status. So sometimes the customer comes, that customer for that customer setup, that means customer issue setup, it will take time. Okay, so it will go to the multiple peoples actually. So manager and service level manager, this and so on. So it's not completed. Issue is not completed. That transaction item is not closed. So they are going with the multiple status. So uh, suppose a mobile setting or validating. So that is one status. So once that status, I'm just giving some delays so that we can see some delays, 5 seconds. After that, again, I'm just dragging the another progress, same current item, and next one is going to the uh, so address verification, and okay, so again one more delay, again one more status set transaction progress, address verified, verified, that is the status, and next one is a one more, so like this, you understand, right? So next one is again current status, so the same thing. So same transaction has to go through that document, maybe this is the first actually, document collection repayment, like that. So and then you can just make it as a success or fail based on your thing. Okay. Just running. Okay, while we are running, so we'll see what is in progress. So this is in progress, right? Just see view transactions. Okay, this one, see here. Uh, no, okay, this has happened very quickly. That's right. Comments history. Let us run again, or we can put the actually message boxes. That is a bit. Okay, let's put the message boxes so that we can stop and so basically it will give the run now. Okay, now the last one. See here. Yeah, see here the progress. So you can see now the progress item is there, right? For the Aja, so there is a progress as a mobile setting checking. So if you just refresh, let me open again. What is the progress now? So mobile setting checking. Oh, refresh. We have to refresh, and see here. So address verified. Okay, address verified. Okay, like that. Got it? That is a progress. If you want to see the progress, so you can use the progress. So sometimes, see, let us say take a on process to complete the one transaction item. It has to go through the downloading process, downloading the drivers and installing the drivers. So downloading drivers itself, it takes a half an hour. So installation again takes a one more 1 hour. Okay, so again report generation, something like that. Okay, so in the single transaction item to complete the whole process, it is taking it has to go through the multiple phases. So each phase is taking time. So you don't know what phase it is currently. Okay, to know that, you can see this status, transaction status. If you use a set transaction status from the orchestrator, you can see what exactly current status is. Okay, so that is a set transaction status. Okay, so and okay. There's a get queue items is there. Get queue items. The get queue items will give the list of queue items. The output of the is list of queue items. See, what is I output? So in I enumerable means list. I enumerable. Okay. Create a sorry all items. Okay, all items. Now we have how many items? So we have these many items. So all the success items, all the failure items, all the new items, all the in progress items. So you can get that type of queue item status. Okay, queue item status is all means it will give the all the items. Okay, all the items. And if you want only new items, you can get the only new items. Let's take only success items. Okay, only success items. So what is the output? So you have to give the what is the queue item status and the queue name. Queue name is the input. Which queue? You may have a multiple queues, right? Multiple queues. Queue name and all success items. So you give the, so let us take a for each loop for each activity. So what is the all queue items and all queue items is a queue item. So what is this data type? So what I have to select this one. So see here, it's a in I enumerables. I enumerables, that is like a list actually. So list of uipath.co.q item, that is a list actually. So what I have to select for the for each? For each is not object, right? This is the object. So which one I have to select? Can you tell or ping in the chat? So what is the data type of that? The type argument of the for each? Hello? Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah. What is the
document.
type? The list of strings we are looping. What is the type document? That is a string. It is a list of integers we are looping. The type is int. So what is the type we have to give? This is a enumeration, right? A list of collection basically, a collection of queue items. What is the type of the storage here?
Collection, system run collection.
It is a list actually. It is a list of items. You have to give the uh, if we are looping each and every item from the list of strings, the for each activity type argument is a string. So if we are looping each and every integer list, the
Your
for each,
voice is breaking.
so if it is a list of strings, we have to give the string. If it is list of data rows, we have to give the data row. Okay. If it is a list of, so what is the type? So the type is the, see, so what type of list it is? What type of list it is? Okay. All items, what type of list it is? It's not system dot collection. So it's a, what type of list it is?
Array.
Here, what type of list it is? The I itself, it is a list actually, but list of queue items, right? So
Oh,
the get queue items is the giving a list of queue items. That is how this is a list of queue items. So what is this all items? All items is already list, already collection. Okay, already this is a collection only. So to loop each and every item, so what is the target type, that type argument? It should be, if the item, the variable has list of strings, then for each type is a string. So if it's a list of int 32, this is a int 32. If it's a list of Uipath dot code dot q items, so what is there? What is the type now?
queue item.
Q item. With the list of Q items means we have to select the Q item only.
Yeah.
Okay, Q item only. Each Q items will come here, and let us display the names. So message box. So this Q item is a one item, right? Current item, yeah, Q item. So how can I display the name from the Q item? This is a Q item, right? How can I display the name of the name? Name in a sense, yeah, the variable. So how can I display name of the Q item? I need to display all the success Q items, uh, four numbers. So okay, four numbers. So what is the syntax here in the message box? Q item is enough. What is the syntax here? To get the phone numbers of each and every queue item whose status is success. So how can you get the specific values from the queue item? yeah, specific content, but not in the dot. Okay, specific content of double quotes, specific content of phone number. Okay, phone number. Okay, let us run. See, it is giving the each and every phone number of the success things. So let us take a one more thing, name, and just copy paste the same thing and name. Done. So see, Hari phone number, Jijo phone number, Kasim phone number, okay, Ajay phone number. So these are all the success things. So like that you can get the queue items. That is a get queue items. Queue items. Okay. So what is a add transaction items? Okay, this is important. Add transaction item. So if you add transaction item, suppose for example, so what we are doing, add transaction. Instead of add queue item, I'm using the add transaction item. The queue name is this one. Okay, not copied. Sometimes there is an emergency customer scheme. Just imagine emergency customers or some celebrity, something. So they are the high priorities. Okay, high priorities. So those things. So if any the new person came, so where they have to keep, they have to keep the last, right? Last, even though 10 people are waiting, 10 customers are waiting, the 11th one is a new one. Okay, so if there is any emergency or anything like a priority, okay, or there is something like a you just imagine some celebrity, so they are the high priority. Okay, they are the high priority, they'll give the high priority. So in that case, what it has to do is it has to enter to the queue, that is sure. It has to enter, the item has to enter into the queue, but it will immediately go to the process. Okay, got it? So the item has to enter to the queue. So I can say the small example. Suppose, so in the hospital, there is each patient is on a queue item. So there is a 10 equations are waiting. Consultancy is going on. The consulting is going on. Treatment is going on for each and every patient. Suddenly there is an emergency case came. What will happen? So they will stop, and they will stop this waiting people, and doctor will go and treat the emergency patient, right? That is a situation. The emergency patient, immediately we have to, once we, so they will take the OP, they will add the item to the queue, but the treatment will do immediately. Okay, the service will provide immediately. Okay, you have a something like a special special OP kind of things are there, right? Okay, so what is the transaction item? So add the transaction item like a name, Ravinder, immediate connection. And this will so actually the queue item, add queue item will not give any output. It will just add the item to the queue, but the add transaction item will add the item to the queue and immediately it will give the transaction item as a output. See, so is the current item, and once we add the current item, so yeah, so we have some processes, right? You can just use the message box. Actually, so we have to create a yeah. Let us create a write that code gone actually. So write text file. Yes, just to do the success. Slash immediately you have a cur dot specific items dot name dot toString plus dot txt. Okay, so anything you can give that phone number. Okay, let's take this up to this one. So now I'm just adding how many. So before that, just to check how many items are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, 6 items. And see here you can see the 6 out of 6. Okay, 6 items, and you have a paging also. Okay, and there is no new item here. Okay, one is in progress, and there is no new item. Now just let us check the files also. Files also 6 files are there. Let us run. Now the Ravinder, just check the text file. See Ravinder text file came. Okay, Ravinder is a text file came, and see the queue. Queue has a new item. So in progress. Okay, in progress, the new item. You can make it as a success or anything failure. Okay, so that is a queue item. Okay, queue item. So wait for queue item, and so postpone item, you can postpone the item. Delete the queue item, you can delete the queue item also. So just give the queue item. So the queue item list. Okay, so you can give the queue item list, it will delete automatically. But you should have a permissions. So okay, for the queue item deletion part, and the postpone item, you can postpone the item. Wait for the queue item. Basically it will give the output as the queue item, but so I said, right, so here for the 4 it is waiting for the queue item, right? So like that, so it will wait for the queue item, and once the queue item add to the queue, it will immediately pick that. Okay, that is also there. So that is about the queues here. So there is a dispatcher and performer. Dispatcher dispatches the items to the queue. Okay, let's imagine the registration counter in the hospital. Okay, they will register the OPs and add the OPs to the queue, add the items to the queue. Okay, performers, what? Performers are the doctors. Okay, you just imagine 4 doctor rooms are there. 4 are the common general physicians, and they will treat the randoms. Randomly in the sense, when if the first person case came, which doctor is free, so we are allocating that doctor. So like that. So this is a queue. So we can add the queues. So that the advantages of the queue item is you can workload management. Okay, you have a multiple bots. Okay, each bot is a treating. So see, now we have 4 services bots, right? So each bot is taking the items to the queue from the queue, and do the process and update the status. Okay, so like that you can distribute the work to the multiple bots, and one bot is adding the new items to the queue. So imagine, so every day morning you are getting the Excel of list of customers. So you have to add these customers to the, so let's imagine 10,000 customers are coming in the Excel. So you just bulk add is also there, bulk queue item add. You just add the bulk item to the queue. So everything is a new status, and anyway every 1 hour, so 10 bots are running, 10 bots are parallelly getting the items from the queue, and completing the process of that customer. Okay, so the questions here is what they will ask. So what is the difference between these two? What is the add queue item? What is the difference between add queue item and add transaction item? Add queue item will just add the queue item. The status of the add queue item will be the new. So add transaction item is adding the new transaction item to the queue, and immediately it will come as a to the process actually. So that is a high priority. For a high priority we are using. What is the bulk? Bulk is adding the data table to the queue, and this one they will ask, how can you get the specific values from the queue item. So using the specific content. Got it? So that is about the queue concept. So do you have any doubts? All of you? Do you have any doubts on the queue concept? So here that is a queues. Just practice so on the queues. So what you will do, so you just take a, so two bots, okay, two bots you have to prepare, two bots, I mean two processes. One is the dispatcher and another one is a performer. So what is the dispatcher work? Dispatcher work will be the dispatcher work. Let us take that one only. RPA challenge. Okay, RPA challenge. So we just download the RPA challenge Excel, employee details Excel from this RPA challenge. Download the Excel. If you download the Excel, yeah, you have a, see, you have a data from the Excel. Excel has all the customer employee details, employee name, phone number, company name, last name, so roll number. So okay, so first name, last name, these things and all. So what basically dispatcher has to do, dispatcher has to so read data from Excel and add items to queue. Okay, it won't interact with the RPA challenge. You just loop each and every item. You can use a bulk load or queue item. Okay, you just create a item in the queue, this queue. Okay, so that is a part of the dispatcher. That's it. Okay, performer, what it will do, performer will get item from queue and fill the information from rpachallenge.com and click on submit. Okay, submit. Click on submit. So adding that and click on submit. So while you are adding, you just try to miss some information like a company name. Just miss the company name. Okay, few things. Company name, you miss the company name. Okay, so the business exception, just throw the business. These things are the status is a success. Okay, this is a success. This is a success. But these two are failed. So why it is failed? Because of the company name is not there. Okay, that is the one business exception you just provide. You can provide just forcefully. You just remove the company name and just empty, give the empty, and the performer has to check. Performer has to check the company name is not there, and it has to fail the transaction, and the reason is company name should be provided. Okay, got it? If every details are there, what it has to do, it has to fill all the information and click the submit and update the status equal to success in the queue item. Got it? This is a exercise you have to do. Okay, so do you have any doubts? So on the queue items, all are understand? All are understood?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we'll see tomorrow. The next part is state missions. Yeah, Gaurav, do you have any doubts, Gaurav?
So to throw the exception, we have to use the try catch block and all.
No. You are not throwing anything. Okay, so you're just setting the transaction status. You're not throwing anything. If it's a business exception, so you just click on the fail. See, set transaction
Hmm.
status, and this is a business. You just mention the business and give the reason why it is failing. See? So this should be in the if condition. If you are checking if the current item dot specific content of company name dot toString dot contains empty, then you just use the business exception. Otherwise, success. You're not throwing. It
Okay,
is not. It is not. You're not throwing.
okay, so we have to check every field. If it is present, then it would be success. If it is missing, then failure.
Only company name. Only company name. Just check the company name.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay,
If you
all right.
want,
Okay,
you can check also. So that is also better.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, understood.
Okay, okay. See you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.